Welcome to Living on the Ocean. My name is Arie Baartman, and together with Cheryl Hudson and our dog Camino, we sailed Trimaran Dawn to the Caribbean. And with tears in my eyes, I've been making this episode. Goodbye, sailing paradise. I need to inspect the carbon fiber rudder hinges that we made if they not start cracking and can handle the big forces that probably come on this system in maybe hurricane winds if I have to sail this boat, because every opportunity we try to get this boat in a safe place seems to become a dead end. But we still have an opportunity to stay with her in St. Maarten. If everything works out there, she could maybe be on the land, or I have to start sailing away when a hurricane is coming, leaving Cheryl and Camino behind. I can handle it by myself, as long as everything goes okay, and it's already starting to go wrong. The autopilot breaks for the second time, and I'm getting absolutely exhausted on this trip. We're running out of options if we cannot stay in St. Maarten. And this is the place where we actually really would want to stay. The idea of leaving this wonderful place makes us sad. And there are opportunities for me to work as a day skipper, and Cheryl is checking out to work as a digital nomad, which seems to have opportunities as well. And Camino? He is very happy over here, because he has found lovely back. We've gone back to Grumpy's bar, and it was absolutely fantastic to see them meet each other again, and they had a wonderful time over there. I think you don't need to say anything to see how happy they were together. When we were gone, we heard that Lovely left for a while, and we wondered if she was looking for Camino. They shared their food, they lay together on the beach, and Camino has a bit of competition. Saba. Saba lives on the beaches and the streets of St. Maarten. He's actually quite a nice dog. He just doesn't like competition from a cool dog like Camino. And you could say that he's become an attraction, laying in this bar where we rode to the beach often to go for a drink and talk with the friendly people that work behind the bar. Coming back from Cariacou, it was Arie that came running over the beach to welcome us back to St. Maarten. We feel welcome here, and we feel like we have some real friends. And as I now daily check the weather and see the first tropical storms come in the direction of St. Maarten, I wonder if it is too late to sail back to Europe in hurricane season. And predictions would give nothing else than wind on the nose and maybe even 30 to 40 days tacking against Atlantic swell and waves. Is that what we want to do? And can we do that with this boat? And I start to inspect everything. First of all, the carbon fiber hinges. Are they cracking? Are there small little cracks? No, there are no little cracks in those carbon fiber hinges. The only one is a tiny one there, where there's actually no carbon, but just foam that was a spacer to keep the right distance. So it's all looking very good. But no, actually not. Underneath here, not the hinges. There's been a constant doing this inside here because I made a mistake. Underneath here it has been rubbing, and it's rubbed completely. The hinges are good, but the rubbing has completely destroyed the inside and the edge of the rudder blade, as I'm trying to show you now. And the housing itself, when I look inside of it, is not too bad. So I can put this aside. This doesn't need much more work, but this edge has been rubbing to all the layers of glass fiber. It didn't happen to my other rudder. It has nothing to do with the strains of the hinges, but it has everything to do with this wearing away by the constant vibration, because I did not fill out the housing, which I should have filled out better. Well, it's good that I checked it, because you can see clearly that this is not longer good. Yeah, there's a complete crack in the whole front. This has rubbed so much that it's gone to all the fibers, and this needs to be repaired and fill out properly. But even more important than the rudder is the front beam. I've been drilling holes in the top to put thread ends from the bottom of the beam through the beam to the top to hold the top and the bottom together, because there's something going very wrong inside this beam. The top of the beam is going up and down. It looks like the thread end moves, but actually the thread end is well connected to the bottom. You can see in the little swell waves that are in this anchorage how the thread end moves inside that hole. And when we are on the big ocean slamming into Atlantic waves, this could finally cause the front beam to fail and break. Something is wrong with the connection between the top and the bottom, and I'm planning this thread end construction to hold the top and the bottom together, because this thread end, well connected to the bit of the bolt over here that's connected to the boat and holds this removable beam in place, was only connected to the bottom inside the beam. And that caused the top to go up under the loads, and I thought it failed on the top, but it's actually failing in the bottom down here. Not this top that I drew in my first drawing when I thought it was there. By a good inspection I realized that while the bolt is hauled down and the forces need to go to the glass fiber on the side to the bulkheads in the beam, well, the beam goes up. Those bulkheads are not loose in the top, they must be loose in the bottom, because when you look inside the beam you can actually see that the glass fiber is loose, and if you hold your finger on it while the boat moves over it, you feel it moving up and down. They must have made this in the time after they made a middle float wider and tried to make a good new connection inside, which was very difficult. And now I must make sure that those thread ends hold everything together in the Atlantic storms that we're gonna face. The other thing was the mast, and I went up with 2 ropes, luckily, because I figured out that for the so manyth time a piece of stainless steel that I did see before, but I couldn't see the cracks. That's the hard thing with stainless steel, and hanging on one rope could have well meant I fell out of the mast, and that's why you always go up with 2 ropes, because things can go wrong. Now we're not trying to fix the stainless steel here. This is actually a beautiful flame on the little wall of a new restaurant that just opened up, with a beautiful swimming pool that changes color. They play nice music there, and we are able to take some wonderful pictures with Camino and the colors of the swimming pool. One of our last evenings after very hard work, hoping that we can get Trimaran Dawn strong enough and good enough to start sailing the Atlantic waves, maybe on our nose, all the way back from east to west to Europe. The first tropical depressions are already coming, and that's very early for the time of the year. They could turn into hurricanes already, and that would be almost a record. Actually, I think it would be the record. So we checking the weather. Lucky enough, the first one goes underneath us. But all we getting from our weather forecast predict wind, which is great, gives us 6 different routes from different forecast stations. They all tack up and take 30 till 40 days. Can we really do this? Will the Atlantic Ocean be merciful to us? We hope you enjoyed watching this episode of Living on the Ocean.